say how I feel. It's like ooh la la. It's kinda easy now 'cause it's real. Hey. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
Well, howdy, everybody. How are you? And system audio muted. Hold it. Oh, okay. You can still hear me. Yes, I think you can. Hi, Tamara. Let's see. Linda's here. And Tamara's here. Yeah, Tamara just sent something in. And hi, Tamara. Let's see who else is here. Larry sent something. Oh, my thing's twisted. There's Angie. Yes. And Larry. And we'll try and send an email that I've been really worried. Oh, I'm sorry, Tamara. Driving home, Larry's listening. Yeah. Yeah, you guys were in Olala. That got the email. You said you were out of town in Olala. Okay. That's like right up the road for me, kind of. When you live out here, it's nothing ever takes place really kind of just out here. It's either in Olala or in Port Orchard or Gig Harbor. Yeah, we're driving. And there's Susan. Hi, Susan. Angie, Larry, Susan, Linda. Nice. Yay. And if you are there in the background, Miss Lori Houston, howdy. Had a great fun with you this weekend. So 35 minutes from home or so. Yeah. That's about how long it takes me to get to Olala when I go out to the when we go out to the Olala where the boat ramp is and where the little grocery store is there on the water that's just been redone. They had the fire and all that stuff. Oh, so everybody. Hi, I am here. I'm tuckered out. I had an amazing time at my art retreat in Port Townsend with a whole lot of people. And I'll show you just a little. Let's see if I can find it. Did I have it right here? I thought I had it right. Oops, there it is. This is a silly little sketch. I don't know if you can see this, kind of. This was our tarts table, I called it. I sketched it out. See all the bottles of wine bottles on it? Yeah. In the evening, not a lot of art got done in the evening, but a lot of fun and laughter and that kind of stuff. Sorry about that. We played games and had a good time, but during the day, we painted or let's see, I did some watercolor and editing too. A lot of people were doing pastels. Some were doing stitching of a certain kind. Others were doing watercolor. Yeah, we just had a lot of fun. It was really a lot of fun. But on Friday, I zippity-doo-dah left that really quick, drove home, and then Bob took me up to Bremerton to catch the fast ferry, foot ferry into Seattle, where I went to the Fluid Art Experience. And I went to the party at night, the gala, to see everybody there and have some fun. And then I took 2 classes on Saturday. And in the morning, and I'll show you what I did. In the morning, I took classes from Pieces of Tara Lombardi. And that was really fun. It was on beginning pearls, which, I'm a total rookie at all this fluid art stuff. So that was fun. And then in the afternoon, I took an abstract fluid art class with Sarah Taylor. Oh my goodness, that was fun. That was fun. So yeah, yeah, it was a great feast. It was a great feast. So anyway, I'm not. Oh, something's showing that doesn't need. There we go. So then today I have been putting together the thing I like least about art and art shows is the paperwork. And that is what I had to do today was get the labels and the list of everything for my art show that I'm hanging tomorrow morning. But I just noticed that I still have paint on my fingers because during Sarah Taylor's class, I forgot to put on gloves. Oh my goodness. And I did 3 pieces. Oh, well. Anyway, it was great fun. It was a lot of fun. And to see some people and as Lori Houston and I, who I've watched her since early on, like one of the first people I ever watched was Fiona, and I think the second was Lori. And so Lori was helping Tara as an assistant. And then, of course, Lee and Jeremy were there, Massey, because they organized it. And this little piggy was one of the sponsors and all that kind of stuff. So it was fun. And since it was in Seattle, I thought I'd go for a day. And oh my goodness, yeah, it was a hoot. Anyway, so that was my thing. So I'm tuckered. I know Georgianne Martin went. She said it was short drive for her. Oh, I don't know. Isn't Sarah when you? Yes, Sarah. I really enjoy Sarah. She lives in Idaho, and she really does a lot of additional things to her fluid art, and her use of color and her mixing of color is pretty fantastic. So that's what I did. It was great fun. But then got back last night and I crashed after getting in the hot tub. I got in the hot tub because I was sore. I was sore because when I got off the fast ferry in Seattle, I decided I would walk to the hotel. And if you know anything about Seattle, Seattle is built on hills. The whole thing is hill. So to get from the waterfront to 6th Avenue, so you got the waterfront in 6th Avenue, and over a few blocks and up, you have to go. I mean, it's a lot of really hill, and they actually call it the hill climb. And there's actually, at one point between 3rd and 4th, I took the escalators between 2 buildings. Within a building, you can go to get you up to a higher block because it's all quite steep. And it was the first dang hot day we've had in ages. So it was like 80 degrees. It was nuts. And I'm out walking up the hills. Oh, well. But I made it. I did it. Fine. All right. So, she follows all the Aussie group, including Simon Frost. A.K.A. Oh, Frosty Eye Candy. Frosty Eye Candy is from, isn't he in Vancouver, British Columbia? Yeah, Sarah Taylor is something else. She was a lot of fun too. And Pieces of Terra Artistry, she was really cute and lots of fun to work. And she was really good at teaching pearls. And yeah, he lives in BC, but he's an Aussie. Yeah, I know when I go on his show, I'm always that. So we have a couple people's art to see today. I got Tamara's and I got Larry's, and I have a couple pieces of mine to show you. I thought I'd show you what I did. So let's get rock and rolling with... All right, so these are my 2 pieces that I did in Tara's class. They're a little, they photographed a little darker than what they are. They're a little brighter blue than this, lighter. But this was a beginning pearl class, which was fun to do, to get it to actually pearl. And this one got all wonky pearls, but I didn't care because I didn't know you're not supposed to stretch it after it starts to really pearl. And the one thing I learned from, I learned a lot from Tara, but she said that once you had it going, that you're supposed to let it sit for like 45 minutes and it develop. Oh, I've still got paint in my hair, you guys. I hadn't washed my hair yet. So those are from my beginning pearl class. And yeah, the one on the right, we had a little bit of negative space, and the one on the left, I just kind of let it go crazy. I did the whole thing. Anyway, the pearls really have all to do with the recipe, and I mean a lot of it, and the kind of paint. And they talked a lot about the different paints that they've used and tried in different. That's what a lot of these people. Gina DeLuca was there, and they're teasing her about the science gal who she's always talking about. But I didn't take a class from Gina, but yeah, she's always got the technical stuff going on. This paint in my hair is going to drive me nuts, you guys. Okay, so the next are the ones I did in Sarah Taylor's class. And so Sarah Taylor's class was an abstract class. So what I did was I pulled up some of my abstract photos, and I, based on those photos, I tried to kind of recreate the photo in an abstract form. This one right in the middle there, you can see that funny little splotch thing is where the pizza box kind of smushed it when it was still wet. So it kind of made a bloop. And it's a blooper, but it was fun. So that's one of the ones I did with Sarah. We were, by the end of the day, it was the last class. And by the end, they were going, use all the paint, we don't want to have to take anything else. So I think I did 3 canvases in hers. So that was one of them. And then this was another one. This is based on another one of my photographs that I have I did a long time ago. Let's see. I don't know if I can pull those. I don't know if they're even up here. I have no idea where they are. I can't show you. I would show those another time. So that's another one based on one of my abstract photographs that is from Fort Worden last year. And then get rid of that one and show you this one. And then this one is based on one of my favorite abstracts that I've done called Dancing on the Surface of the Sun. And this is the one that Sarah chose for me to, I showed her, asked her to help me choose which picture to do, and she chose this picture for me to do, and it worked pretty well. So that was fun too. We were, it was just really interesting to see how all the different things work. And I liked, for myself, I liked doing this kind of method. You didn't have to layer cups. You put things down and squished them around these were done on dry canvases. These weren't done with a puddle or a wet canvas or any kind of surface. It was all putting paint on a dry canvas, and then I think I used a hairdryer, either blew with a straw and then used a hairdryer and then a palette knife. We did a lot of palette knife work. So that was kind of fun. So that's my adventure into fluid art. Woohoo, yeah, crazy. And then let's see. Here, the other thing I had, let me see if I can get this to do one other thing. Go to camera. See. There. And So, and then I was drawing up at the up at my retreat, and I watercolored one of my art pieces from my photographs. Did some other stuff, kind of things, and just goofed around and played and did a little bit of a watercolor and some pansies. This is just, and what else did I do? Oh, dragonfly. So this was from the Tart retreat. This guy, the dragonflies, the color washes kind of stuff, and playing with trying to figure out how to draw pansies, which are not an easy thing. So that's what I did. So that's been my art adventure this week. Next we have Larry. Now Larry said this is a postcard size. Where did he? He says busy weekend out of town up to Olala. Doodled this postcard size painting this morning of a little statue outside our window this morning. I love it. That's really darling. I like the colors and just that little bit of purple there. But I really like the oranges. It's awesome. Yeah, they are great ducks. Aren't they cute? I love it. Very cool, Larry. The leaf work and the color, everything. For a doodle. Nice. I really, and those two little purple flowers, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Okay, now, next we have Tamra, and she just sent this in, so I threw them on, and I didn't really read. Okay, she said in her email, new pieces for the Akashic Realm series. Oh, she's excited about this new series. It's called the Akashic Realm series. So she has several bits. Let me get myself out of her way. These two. Yeah. And this. I love how you just move all the things around. These two. I like the moon on that. I like that little bit there. And then, those two, the two women is just stunning. I love that. Yeah. I know, aren't they gorgeous? Evolution of birth, Tamara. Applause. You're getting lots of applause for all. Yay. It is breathtaking with the ladies. Moon goddesses. Susan calls it moon goddesses. Thanks, Tamara. I've been having some fun with my adventures in art. I'm tired. I am tired. Yeah. So that is, I think, that is the last one of Tamara's. Yeah, let me see. Let me check my email, right? The email over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, those are the 6 right there. Yay. So applause to everybody. Yay. Good job, you guys. Very awesome. Now if I can figure out where I am here. There I am. I'm back. Yes. And take that out of there. So for story today, I called it Ageless Artists, partially because of, having been with a group of people that have been doing art for so long up at the art tarts, but then going with a whole bunch of other people at Fluid Artists who different time periods on their journey of how they're doing this. But the two books I have tonight are about two different people that one who I've known about since I was young, because the Night Before Christmas version that I grew up with was one that was illustrated by this woman. And my mom always thought it was pretty fascinating and would talk about her. So the first book that I'm going to read about is about Grandma Moses, and amazing folk artist that she was, who'd really, well, there's a lot to know about her. So I think I'll just tell you about it in the book. Now I didn't do a really good job of setting this up. Hang on, you guys. Let me get in for you. There we go. That might be better. There, Grandma Moses. Now, this series of books, if you ever see them out there, they are, I got a shine going on there. Getting to know the world's great artists. It's a whole series that out there about different people, and they have it. Oh, why do I have a double? Something tells me I have something doubled up. Camera B there. Oh, no, camera B. What's going on behind the overlay? There we go. Hold it just a second, you guys. Why do I have a double picture? Look at that. I have a double picture. Hang on. What did I do? There. No wonder. Okay, let's fix that. Isn't that funny? Anyway, this series of books that is done. Sorry, I'm making you crook. I'm probably making you guys all like nauseous by me moving things around, but it's driving me crazy that it's not all crooked. There we go. They have books about a lot of different people, and it is pretty wonderful to have them all available. Oh, my camera is dropped down. And this particular one, I found sometimes they're a little dry, but for this one, I liked it. I actually really thought it was a good example of her. So Grandma Moses, getting to know the world's great artists. Anna Mary Grandma Moses was born in 1860 on a farm in Greenwich, New York. Grandma Moses didn't start to paint seriously until she was almost 70 years old. At first, no one paid attention to her pictures, but by the time she died at the age of 101, Grandma Moses had become one of America's most famous and best-loved artists. I'm going to try to expand, if I can, the pictures a little bit so that, there we go. Oh, nope, that's not going to work. Do this. There we go. So you can see more of the pictures, and I'll do it page by page. Grandma Moses never thought her pictures were anything special. She started to paint for fun to help pass the time. When she was 92 years old, a book about her life was published. Grandma Moses hardly mentioned her artwork in the book. Instead, she told about the adventures she had growing up on her farm. Many of Grandma Moses's paintings are scenes of her favorite memories. Now, this one is a piece that she did in 1953, an oil on pressed wood. It's called Joyride. It's 18 by 24. And this one is from 1947, oil on a 16.5 by 23 and 5/8 inch pressed wood. Now, there. Look at that one. Just about all of Grandma Moses's paintings are landscapes. They show the beautiful rolling mountains, towns, and farms where she lived. Unlike most landscape painters, though, Grandma Moses included people doing all kinds of interesting things like making tasty apple butter or candles or celebrating a favorite holiday or season of the year. This was from 1947, called This is the Fall of the Year. Another on pressed wood, 16 by 21 3/4. The type of artwork that Grandma Moses created is called folk art. Folk art is made by artists who haven't had art classes or any special art training. Folk artists usually learn to draw, paint, or make sculptures all on their own. Sometimes Grandma Moses learned by copying from old prints, calendars, and greeting cards. This is called Checkered House. It's another 1943. Grandma Moses and other folk artists like Edward Hicks and Morris Hirschfield, so this is from Edward Hicks and Morris Hirschfield, have created some of the most original and interesting works of art ever. And here we go with this story. Look at that. In the 1860s, when Anna Mary Robertson was growing up, kids didn't have televisions, compact disc players, video games, movies, or shopping malls. There were still plenty of fun things to do, though. Anna Mary and her brothers used their imaginations to make up adventures games. They played in the forests and hills near their home. They went ice skating on mini ponds surrounding their family farm. They spent hours sledding down snowy hills, using shovels, wooden wash tubs, and anything else that would work as a sled. Grandma Moses said these were the happiest times of her life. Anna Mary's father sometimes brought home sheets of paper for the children to draw on. Anna Mary loved drawing. Since paint and paintbrushes were too expensive for her family to buy, Anna colored her drawings with berry juice. She dabbed the color on with little sticks or twigs. Anna Mary said her brothers always made fun of her because she called her finished pictures lambscapes. Aha, she means landscapes. Aha, no, I don't. I mean lambscapes. When Anna Mary was 12 years old, she got a job as a housekeeper. Anna helped out families in her area. It was hard work, but she learned a lot about running a home and always found friendly, kind people to work for. When she was 26 years old, she met a farm worker named Thomas Moses. Thomas and Anna really liked each other. They fell in love and got married. About a year later, Thomas and Anna Mary Moses had a long, happy, and they got married about a year later. Thomas and Anna Mary Moses had a long, happy life together. They had lots of children and were very successful farmers. And this is Wash Day, a 1945 oil on pressed wood, 17 3/4 by 23 1/2. So she worked in pretty good sizes. One reason that Grandma Moses didn't start painting until she was much older was that as a young woman, she just didn't have the time. Aside from doing all her farm duties and raising a family, Anna Mary started making butter for the local grocery store. When a few years later she decided to make potato chips, Anna Mary's butter and potato chips tasted better than anyone else's. Before she knew it, she was busier than ever, making and shipping her products to grocery stores and a nearby resort. Oops. What's for dinner? Oops, I'm running a little behind. How about buttered potato chips again? Look at the kids all. And this is from 1940. This is one of her earlier embroidery on yarn on fabric by 10 by 14. This is an interesting thing. When Grandma Moses was 67 years old, her husband Thomas died. Grandma Moses missed him very much, and soon after this happened, she started doing artwork to help pass the time. At first, she embroidered or stitched scenes out of yarn. She called these works her worsted pictures. Grandma Moses usually made them as gifts for her friends or relatives. So this was earlier, 1940 or earlier, embroidery yarn on fabric 10 by 14. And this one, she continued doing worsted pictures until the knitting and stitching became painful for her fingers. That was when Grandma Moses added painting to her art activities. This was from, she painted in 1939, the old Hoosick Bridge, 1818. That's when it was. She was painted it in 1939 or earlier, and it's an embroidery. It's not painted. It's embroidery on fabric. Oh. Before Grandma Moses could start painting, though, she had to find art supplies. Finding material for her worsted pictures had never been a problem. Painting supplies, however, were still very expensive and hard to find in rural farm areas. At first, Grandma Moses used leftover house paint and brushes. She used matchsticks and pins to dab on tiny dots of color. Grandma Moses painted on any surface she could find, including glass window panes, sheet metal, and old canvas cloth used to cover farm equipment. Grandma Moses displayed her artwork at county fairs alongside her canned fruit and jam. One time she won a prize for her jam, but no one even noticed her paintings. Grandma Moses also displayed her paintings in the window of a local drugstore. So this one's 1950, 35 by 45 inches. Whoa. One day, a man traveling through town stopped by the drugstore. He noticed Grandma Moses' paintings and couldn't believe his eyes. He thought they were wonderful. Here's another one that's 35 by 45 from 1950, and Bringing in the Maple Sugar is 14 by 22. It's a oil on pressed paper from 1939. Now, Louis Calder was an engineer from New York City. He loved collecting American folk art. Louis bought all the paintings in the drugstore window right away. He then drove to Grandma Moses' house to see if he could buy any more of her paintings. Grandma Moses wasn't home at the time, but her daughter-in-law told Mr. Calder that she thought Grandma Moses had 10 more paintings. So this is another one, 1938, Home in Winter. When Grandma Moses got home, she was excited to hear the good news, but discovered she only had 9 paintings. Grandma Moses decided to cut one in half to make 10 paintings so Mr. Calder wouldn't be disappointed when he came back the next day. Oh my. Louis Calder took all of Grandma Moses' paintings back to New York City. He worked as hard as he could to get people interested in displaying and selling them. Unfortunately, it took a long time to get anyone's attention. There, that one. This is 1941, 26 by 24. This one is 1929. Oh, hold it. Oh, no, this is Grant Wood's. Never mind. That's Grandma Moses's. They're showing how Grant Wood. Oh, okay. They're comparing. I see this. All right. Art dealers in New York didn't really have a problem with Grandma Moses's work. Let me go back here and show you. With Grandma Moses's warm, friendly paintings, scenes about American life, like those done by such artists as Grant Wood, this one, Edward Hopper, this one, and Charles Sheeler, this one, were pretty popular at the time. It seems there was something else that was a problem for the art dealers. Can you guess what that was? Louis Calder found that many art dealers didn't want to take a chance on someone as old as Grandma Moses. They are afraid an artist who was almost 80 years old might become ill and unable to paint any longer. Some dealers felt Grandma Moses might even die soon. Louis Calder never gave up and finally found an art dealer who loved Grandma Moses' paintings. This dealer didn't care how old she was either. Otto Callier owned the Gallery Saint Etienne in New York. He agreed to give Grandma Moses a one-woman show. This is a 1950 piece, oil on pressed wood, 20 by 24. Oh, look at this. Grandma Moses' exhibition helped bring attention to her paintings. Before the show ended, Gimbel's, a big department store in New York, asked to use Grandma Moses' paintings for their Thanksgiving festival. Over the next few years, galleries and museums held Grandma Moses exhibitions too. In 1946, a big greeting card company asked to use some of Grandma Moses' pictures for their collection. Now more people than ever became familiar with her paintings. People liked Grandma Moses as much as they liked her paintings. She was friendly and fun to talk to. She never let being famous change her life. She always seemed surprised by the amount of money she'd made from her artwork. By the time Grandma Moses died in 1961, people all over the world knew about her artwork. Grandma Moses' paintings reminded everyone of simpler, happier times. Yeah, that's the story of Grandma Moses. Yeah, I just wanted to, she was just so, that folk art that she had, that type. I can remember looking at that night before Christmas and the simple little pictures. They're just, the people are just little dashes of paint almost, but it's so full of life in her work. It's very cool. Anyway, so that's the first book. The second book is about another artist that kind of just started out. It's a little kind of, it's written in a less biographical way, more fun, a little lighthearted. And I thought you guys would like this one too. Let's see, checking out Mesmerizing. Yeah, her work is mesmerizing. Yes, 70. Wow, there's hope for me. Yeah. Your sister said, hurry up, you're almost that old. The only book is the America's Most Wanted. Oh my gosh. Landscapes. I know, landscapes. I think we're all going to do landscapes. That's the next assignment, folks. Landscapes. I want to see landscapes. It is. That type of series does really kind of cool visuals when it has the mix between their artwork and then the silly little the illustrations that are done by Mike Venenzia. He writes and illustrates these series, and they're all a lot of fun like that. Can you imagine painting with a pin? Like a pin, because she had those for sewing and all of that. And then the embroidery work. Yeah, it's amazing. One of the gals that was with us at Tarts was doing these little, she does cards, like thank you cards or different kind of things, and she sells, and she does these elaborate little designs out of stitching. And like she was tossing card after card because she made the pinprick the wrong way, and we're like, oh my God, none of us are gonna know. Oh my gosh. So yeah, my grandmother embroidered and did all that stuff. In fact, I have a chair that has her embroidery work on it. Anyway, the next book, I think, is a little more modern day, little different type of someone who did not live to be 101, but who started painting and drawing when he was very, very young because he just wanted to keep on drawing. And this is the story of Keith Haring, the boy who just kept drawing. Now, this is going to take pushing this camera up here. Hold up there. See if I can get this to show. I might have to adjust on this because does that show? There we go. There we go. Yay, I can do that. And then, there we go. Okay, then I can get it so that it goes to the size I want. Yay. All right, adjusted. This is Keith Haring, the boy who just kept drawing. And what's cool is that this is by his sister. He was the oldest of 4, and it's illustrated by Robert Newbecker. But they used Haring's illustrations a lot, in some of them in here. So look at that. Look at this. Keith Haring, the boy who just kept drawing. Let's move this here. Ba-bum. There. There was a boy named Keith. When he was little, his father taught him how to draw dogs and fish and funny things. His dad would draw a line, then Keith would draw one, and soon the whole page would be full. From that time on, Keith never stopped drawing. In elementary school, while taking tests, Keith doodled on the edge of his paper. How many have done that? When he handed in his work, his teachers would ask, "Why did you doodle on this important paper?" Keith didn't answer. He went back to his desk and just kept drawing. Sometimes Keith invited his friends to draw in his backyard clubhouse. Keith made symbols and said each one represented a letter of the alphabet. His friends asked, "Why do you use symbols to write?" Keith drew more symbols. It was his way of answering the questions. He encouraged his friends to join him. As a teenager, Keith liked to draw in his bedroom with music playing loud. He would draw on every piece of paper he could find. His mother had to yell over the music, "Why can't you turn that music down and go outside and ride your bike?" But Keith had sold his bike to buy art supplies. So he answered, "Look at the cool drawings I did." And he just kept drawing. When Keith was in high school, he won first prize for his art. A successful couple from town offered to buy his drawing. Keith said, "No, thank you. If you enjoy my art, you may hang it on your wall, no charge." Keith's sisters were shocked. "Why didn't you take the money?" they asked. Keith shrugged. He just wanted to keep drawing. Keith graduated from high school and went to the big city of Pittsburgh to a school that would teach him about art. There were boys on the street trying something new, breakdancing. He liked the crazy shapes their bodies as they turned and flipped on the ground, and while the music played loud, Keith started drawing wiggly lines. His teachers asked him, "Why are you drawing pictures that look like scrambled bodies? That is not what we told you to draw." Keith knew how to draw. He just wanted to draw in different ways. And he kept drawing. Keith moved to the huge city of New York when he was 20, so he could draw with other artists. He started to draw all over the city, on walls, on sidewalks, and on paper that he hung on lampposts. His drawings were washed away by the rain or torn down by street cleaners. Other artists asked Keith, "Hey, why do you draw in places your pictures are erased?" Keith didn't hear them. He was searching for another wall so he could keep drawing. Keith got a job delivering packages and sometimes rode the subway. One day, he saw a black panel of a panel of black paper on the wall in his station. He rushed outside to buy chalk and came back and began to draw. The white chalk made bright, smooth lines on the black paper. Day after day, Keith filled the empty panels in the subway stations with art. Soon people who rode the subway were looking for the white chalk drawings. No one knew the name of the artist, but his drawings were easy to recognize. People asked him, "Why are you drawing here? What do your pictures mean?" Keith said, "What do you see? You decide what they mean." Where Keith lived, there was trash on the street, and people didn't always say hello to each other. One day, he and his friends cleaned up 20 bags of garbage in front of a long wall. Then Keith painted square faces with smiles and body shapes dancing upside down. The neighbors liked the drawings and stopped to say thank you. A policeman came by and lectured Keith. "Why did you do this? I have to give you a ticket because you didn't get permission." Keith paid the fine and kept drawing. Soon people waited to see more of Keith's drawings, and he was asked to display his work in an art gallery. Art was hung from floor to ceiling, and in between he painted on the walls. Keith invited everyone to come and enjoy his work. All of Keith's artwork sold. The gallery owner asked him, "What are you going to do with all this money?" Keith said, "I read in the newspaper that there are kids who don't have enough to eat. I didn't have this money yesterday, and I was happy. If I don't have it tomorrow, I'll still be happy. All children need to eat. I'll send the money to them." The gallery owner gasped, "Why?" Keith just smiled and started to draw again. Now people were inviting Keith to draw in famous museums and exhibit in galleries all over the world. He was proud that he had become a successful artist, but wherever he went, Keith insisted he paint a mural so everyone could enjoy his work, not just the people who had money to buy it. During a visit to Paris, France, Keith painted on the outside of a children's hospital, 6 stories high. Newspaper reporters came to take pictures and asked, "Why did you paint at the hospital? Do you think it will make the sick children feel better?" Keith didn't have time to answer. He had to finish the painting. When the Statue of Liberty was 100 years old, Keith drew an outline of the famous statue on a huge piece of vinyl fabric. Then he asked 900 kids to help him finish the drawing. Keith told them, "Draw anything, whatever you want. No one can say it's bad or good. It's yours." Wow. When the giant painting was displayed, people were amazed to see what Keith and the kids had made. But the art critics couldn't understand why a famous artist was drawing with kids. But you know Keith, he just kept drawing. Keith painted all over the world. He would draw on anything, anytime, anywhere. Wherever he went and whatever he did, he would not stop. He just kept drawing. Now everyone wanted to know, and together they shouted, "Why? Why do you draw all the time? Why do you give your artwork away? Why do you draw on buildings, on people, on clothing, on furniture, on subway walls, on cars, on skateboards, on walls that belong to no one, and on things to be thrown away? Why do you draw on everything?" Keith stopped drawing just for a moment and answered, I draw all the time because there are many spaces to fill. I give my drawings away to help make the world a better place. I draw everywhere because everyone needs art. Then Keith turned back to the street, took a piece of chalk from his pocket, and just kept drawing. And this is the author's note. There's the family. There is his sisters, Christine, Karen. Oh no, hold it. This is Keith, Christine, Karen. Oh no, hold it. Christine, Karen, Kay, and Keith. That's the one who wrote the book. She said she wrote this story to answer the question I'm always asked, what was Keith like as a kid? The answer is he was always drawing. When we were growing up, our dad was a great inspiration. We'd substitute time in front of the TV with drawing at the kitchen table. During church services or school concerts, Dad would doodle in the margin of the program and pass it on to us to add our own drawings. Mom would proudly display our artwork on the refrigerator. Keith's lifelong love of creating art developed into an extraordinary commitment to making art accessible to all people, and he worked hard. Even after achieving great fame, he would often return to New York City from an exhibit overseas to get on a subway as soon as possible to draw there, saying, the people riding the subway need art too. He believed that there was good in everyone, and I concentrate on that. He lived his life according to this principle and treated everyone from young children to famous celebrities to world leaders in the same respectful, friendly manner. Keith's exhibition openings were a testament to this. In attendance was a fascinating array of celebrities, families with young children, graffiti artists, people who had never set foot inside a gallery before, and wealthy art collectors. It was always a diverse crowd, all brought together by his dynamic personality and vibrant artwork. What she most remembers about him is his deep commitment to community and his unending generosity. There was something magical about how the more he gave away, more doors were open to him. And he used that as a springboard to reach even more people. His energy and ideas live on in his works of art all over the world and in the ripples of inspiration he started that have echoed around the globe. His enduring legacy is captured best in his most well-known icon, Keith's crawling baby, better known as the Radiant Baby, radiates his love for children, celebration of life, and passion to spread art around the world. To honor my brother's spirit and pay tribute to the life devoted to celebrating the goodness in all human, a portion of my proceeds from the sale of this book are donated to the organization that benefits the youth at Berks County, Pennsylvania, our family home. The Youth Advisory Committee at Berks and that empowers high school students to address issues facing young people in their community. It's cool. Then it goes on. He talks more about him. Best known and loved artist of our age, he was born May 4th, 1958. Graduated high school in 76 and went to Ivy School of Professional Art in Pittsburgh. Sorry. Didn't want to become a commercial graphic artist, so he moved to New York in 78 to attend the School of Visual Arts, where he found a thriving alternative arts community. Drawing in New York subways in 1980, and by 85 he produced hundreds. Went on. His approach was to start to draw at one end of a space and work across it with no pre-planned sketch. The lines flowing from hand to canvas in continuous freeform. By 1986, he was commuting huge sums of money for his art. Herring opened the Pop Shop near his studio in Soho to sell t-shirts. The Pop Shop was a place where anyone could afford to buy one of his famous images. He also devoted much of his time to producing art that contained messages about how he felt people should be treated with respect and equality. He produced more than 50 public works in dozens of cities that were for charities and hospitals. During his brief but intense career, Herring's work was featured in over 100 solo and group exhibitions. In 1986 alone, he was the subject of more than 40 newspaper and magazine articles. He was highly sought after to participate in collaborative projects and worked with artists and performers such as Madonna, Grace Jones, Bill T. Jones, William Burroughs, Timothy Leary, Jenny Holzer, Yoko Ono, and Andy Warhol. In 1989, Herring established the Keith Haring Foundation to provide funding to AIDS organizations and underserved youth and to expand the audience for his work through exhibitions. He died of AIDS-related complications at the age of 31 on February 16th of 1990. He used his imagery during those last years of his life to generate activism and awareness about AIDS, and he feverishly traveled the world and continued drawing up until the last few weeks before his death. The work of Keith Haring is still immediately recognizable, yes, and can be seen today in exhibitions and collections of major museums and millions of homes around the world. And then it showed some of his pieces. There's right there. I don't know if you can see it. There's the little one, the Radiant Baby. It's been dubbed Radiant Baby, but he actually had it untitled. Entitled the bicycle wheels ones. All the things have shown through here. It's very cool. Anyway. Yes. So, cut that out. Those are the couple of books. I thought that was, I have checked all these books out of the library. Thursday, I'm going to be in Phoenix. I leave Tuesday. I'm flying down to take, Bob and I are flying down. So I think I'm going to make sure that I'm not with the grandkids or something. I'm going to record a show for you. I think I'm going to read The Boy, the Mole, The Horse and the Fox. I have that. I can't remember if I read it to you. I'll look back on my stuff. But that's the one that won had a really cool short film that won an Academy Award. But it's a great book. And I have a couple other fun things too. Need a fun book and just goofiness. And I know Linda is coming up. She's put in a vote for her birthday for some more Skippy John Jones, which I probably need to put on reserve to find something because I got to get a new one. Anyway, I'm looking. I painted a life-size piece of a pregnant woman. She's beautiful on IX Valley Road. Oh my goodness. Crazy weekend. So much, yeah, it is a lot of detail about him. Hi, Dan. There's Larry made it home. They made it home. Susan, yay. Anyway, so thank you guys for coming to the premiere last Thursday. That was cool that when I was gone. So I'm going to be gone this Thursday, so I'm going to do another premiere for you. Layla and I can join in on you if we have the chance, but I'm going down to watch the kids, and I don't know if they have like swim lessons. I know that one of the nights they have swim lessons and some stuff like that. So to ensure that you get a story, I'm going to record one tomorrow because we fly out on Tuesday, and tomorrow morning I'm hanging the show. So tomorrow afternoon I'll record something for you. How's that sound? But yeah, I hope you guys liked that story. Haring's work is just to have started at such a young age and to have never faltered from that belief of drawing and artists, and that his art was for everyone, and to just push through it. I love that, between just keep going with it, and the difference between that and Grandma Moses, who didn't even start until much later in her life. And then it just expanded and was on. So, yeah. Anyway, you guys, it's 12 a.m. Tummy's really getting crazy. Okay. Oh, yeah, very gifted. Very gifted. All right, you guys, I am going to sign off. Go upstairs. Get you guys have your Sunday evening with family or Monday afternoon with family. And Tamara, we all hope that we're sending out our prayers and hedge of protection for Adrian, that he gets better. Gail, if you're here, howdy. Lori, if you're lurking, unless you are still, I don't think you're still going to be in Seattle. You might have flown home already. But everybody else, you guys, thank you so much for being here. And I will see you next time, next Sunday for sure. Send in your stuff. But I will have a premiere for you on Thursday, so you won't miss out. Anyway, though, until next time, everybody, keep looking for the beauty hidden in plain sight. It is all around you. And the first place you're going to find it is when you go look in the mirror. Yeah, thanks so much. And thanks for sending in such great artwork, Tamara and Larry. It's always so inspirational and uplifting, and I want to see stuff from everybody. Maybe you can all do a lambscape or a radiant baby with lots of lines and wiggles. All right, you guys. Talk to you later.
In the heat of the night, we could get lost in all the lights and sounds. Feeling alright, we won't go home, we will just stay here downtown. There's not just stars on the boulevard, they're in the light in your eyes. Oh, we don't need no black cards, I just need you by my side. We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless. Ooh, drop dead gorgeous, wow. Ooh, you got me feeling starstruck too. We could be famous, we could be famous. You blow my mind, looking like a model, better than the usual. Yeah, you don't even try, not average or typical. I put you on a pedestal. There's not just stars on the boulevard, they're in the light in your
You can
eyes.
phone in anytime, Larry.
We don't need no black cards, I just need you by my side. We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless. Ooh, drop dead gorgeous, wow. Ooh, you got me feeling starstruck too. We could be famous, we could be famous.